Okay guys, so after delivering that load at Fort Smith, Gerdau this morning, they told me to head back to North Little Rock, and which I did. And then once I got to close to North Little Rock, they sent me right back here where I picked up yesterday, Jonesboro, Arkansas. He just started loading me. Now yesterday I was kind of parked right here along the edge here. You come in over there, there's a scale. Today they had me drive around and then back into here. Yesterday I had to just back down here. Anyway, I do not like this place because there's just crap all over the place. See all that? Nails. That's what I'm picking up. Hopefully just in the trailer, not my tires. So, yeah. And this goes back to Gerdau, Fort Smith. Same load. So that'll put me in Fort Smith Friday morning. Probably come back to North Little Rock to get a load to deliver Monday. Let me see. Climb in here, see if we can get a peek of this. So there it is. The actual piles of product when I dumped it today, it's actually pretty small. Stuff's heavier than it looks. Anyway, so when I'm done, I'll go out there, get on the scale, and then go around the building. Okay, everybody. Hey, it's Friday morning, about 7:30. I got this load of nails, mostly, I picked up yesterday in Jonesboro, Arkansas. We're in Fort Smith, Arkansas now. This is the second load of this type that I've picked up this week, 2 in a row, and delivered them here to Fort Smith, Gerdau. As you can see, it's starting to rain. It's supposed to rain all day. Maybe I can get this unloaded before it starts raining heavily. They start receiving here at the Gerdau mill at 7 a.m. I stopped and got fuel on the way here. I drove about 2.5 hours this morning to get here. Don't know what's next. Yeah, I've had kind of some boring loads this week. Not a lot of interesting footage. Okay, here's the entrance, the back entrance to the Gerdau mill. And before you get on the scale, you have to take your tarp off because they have a camera. They like to see what you're bringing in. So I'm gonna have to hop out real quick. There's already a truck on the scale. So let me hop out real quick and get my tarp rolled off. Alright guys, so I've scaled in, checked in. This is my 3rd time in here this week, but you can see there's the Phoenix building there to the left where I picked Well, I picked up a load of mill scale here earlier in the week. Here comes another Oakley truck heading out. He's got me dumping this load in the same place I dumped yesterday, area 52. This guy here, since he came from the right, he probably was dumping ore, like that manganese. Whoa. All right, so you gotta watch for the tracks. That's why they have stop signs. Okay, so we're gonna make a left turn here after I check this track real good. And area 52 is gonna be one of the first piles here on the left. The second or third pile. You see they got little blue signs over here to the left. Although the 52 sign is not visible, they've got it cleaned out fairly well. So I'm just gonna kind of get over here and angle in so that the rear of my trailer can back in front of the pile. Try to stay as level as possible. The ground here is pretty good. I've already got my, like I said, my tarp is rolled back, and I've got my mud flaps moved already. And luckily it's not real rainy at the moment. All right, let me get this done. Okay, let's take a look at that dump. I've already got my mud flaps hung back up, gate shut. Don't have my tarp rolled back over. I've already swept it out. It's kind of dusty, dustier than that load yesterday, but here it is. You can see you got everything from plumbing, pipes, to mostly nails. All kinds of junk. Not the best load in the world, that's for sure. Woo. All right, so what you have to do now to get out of here is go down there and turn in and then kind of back up to come out of here. There's no place to turn around right here. You have to go on up towards that red building, hook a left, make a turn, and then back up to turn back onto this lane. So that's that. I'll roll my tarp up after I scale out because I think they want it left off until then. Not sure. All right, everybody. So I drove empty from Fort Smith, where I made that delivery this morning at Gerdau for the second time this week. And I just turned in to the Remington Arms plant here in Lone Oak, Arkansas. It's just right off of I-40 eastbound. There it is, straight ahead. And you know, it's about 10 or so miles from North Little Rock, east of North Little Rock, at the Remington Road exit. You know you've hit the big time if you've got your own road dam. Now I've picked up here a few times before. We'll be getting either brass or copper leftover pieces, you know, from their manufacturing process. And this will be my home load. After this, I'm gonna head back to North Little Rock, park for the weekend. Gonna stop on the way in though, and at the Speedco and get an oil change, PM. But this load will deliver Monday morning up in Granite City, Illinois, which is basically the Illinois side of St. Louis. So the way this works is we're going to pull over here to the side. You know, they've got this little concrete lane here for trucks to park in. And then I'm going to walk up to the building there on the left and check in. They'll give me a little ID. Got to sign in. They'll give me a little visitor ID. Be back in a minute. Got checked in. Got my little visitor badge. And they've opened the gate for me. The last time I was here, probably a month or so ago, their scale was broken. So there's no scaling in or out. And I asked the security guard about that, and she said it was still broken. So there won't be any scaling in or out. And their scale is around back, close to where you get loaded. So the good thing about loads out of here is that they're not heavy. They usually weigh in the, you know, 70,000 pound range. So no risk really of being overloaded. It's just, you know, you're not able to get an empty and a loaded weight for your paperwork and all. So what they try to do is they keep a weight of each tub they're dumping in the trailer, which I'll show you later, and kind of work up a total based on their individual tub weights. And then the last time they asked me to call them after I made the delivery using the customer's scales and report back with the weights. So that's probably what they want me to do again this time. So it's a pretty good little drive back here. I'm about halfway there now, so I guess I'll just keep the camera going. Usually there's not any other trucks here. I've never been here before when there was another truck getting loaded. So that's usually not an issue. Problem now is it's 11:20, so we might be catching them at lunch. I think they just need to cancel lunch for shipping and receiving personnel. It's really slowing down the entire country's shipping operation. Just kidding, just kidding. Don't want to start getting hateful comments from all you shipping and receiving people. Okay, so you'll see up here to the right, just past that little white building, metal building, which is kind of new, I think. We're gonna back in there. And I have to walk down to the office, which is further down, and check in. So since this big trailer is kind of parked here, I think I'm gonna do a little turnaround here so I can back in from the left. Okay guys, so I walked down to the office down there and checked in. I think a couple of the unloader guys are probably at lunch, as I mentioned before, but the office is down there. Have to walk down there, or I could have driven down there and checked in and then backed in, but I wanted to go ahead and get backed in. And luckily this is a good spot, you know, no nails to drive over or anything like that. So you can see I've let the air out of my trailer and opened up my barn door, went ahead and backed up to the loading platform and lowered down the gate here, or the platform, whatever you call it. And let me show you, I've already gotten in there and moved my bows out of the way. Hopefully, I hope the rain will hold off for a while I'm getting loaded. But it's been sprinkling on and off, so probably won't. So here's what we've got. Open trailer. I've got my bows pushed out of the way. You know, with this end dump, you do have to do a little work from time to time. So you guys that don't like to do any work or have a dislike of physical activity, you know, you might want to try dry van or something like that. It's not too bad with the end dump, but you do have to climb up in the trailer from time to time. But today I got it easy. I just was able to walk right up the ramp. So that's what we got. Now what they'll do is, the product I'm getting is probably this right here. As you can see, this looks like copper. And it's oily. And because the last time I delivered to this place I'm going to, it was copper, not brass. You can see all this stuff looks like copper. This over here is brass. All right, just leftovers from their manufacturing. So that's probably what I'm getting right there, is my guess. And I'll show you some of it because it's kind of different the way they load this stuff. They take it in one lift at a time and drive on there with the forklift, and then the forklift rotates and dumps it. So it'll probably take them, I'll probably be here for an hour, hour and a half, I'm guessing, since I caught them on lunch, you know, by the time I get out of here. So I'm gonna go just watch some TV, eat some lunch, wait for them to show up, and then I'll try to get a little footage. Okay guys, so I've been waiting about half an hour and they just started loading me. And I was right, I am getting the copper product, not brass. So I'll give you a shot. We got one guy that takes away the empty cartons and then another guy that loads the full. So I'll try to show you how he spins them around. And then he just smashes them, tries to smash it in tight towards the front. He said the total product weight on this load is going to be about 31,000 pounds. So it's considerably less than what I'm normally hauling, you know. Normally we haul, you know, 46 to 48,000 pounds. So that's what we got, you know. That's how it works. You see some of my bows are starting to swing out because he's vibrating the trailer pretty hard. Anyway, that's how it works. Hopefully it'll keep, the rain will stay away. We get this loaded probably in the next half hour or so. Get it retarped and get on out of here. All right, folks, well here I am, arriving at the Oakley North Little Rock yard here on a Friday afternoon, about 4 o'clock. I spent the last couple of hours over at the Speedco, a few miles away, getting a PM oil change. Got my differential oil changed, tire pressure checked, got my APU serviced, you know, oil change, filters. It's like a new truck. All right, let's see if we can find us a parking spot. There's the main office straight ahead. I've been talking to Jim up in Kansas City. He's going to be applying to Oakley, sounds like. He and I both were in orientation together back at Maverick. He drove for Maverick a little over a year, and then done a couple other things. I think he's been driving dry van for Landstar most recently, but it's about ready to come over to Oakley. Oh, so you can see some of the tugboat action there straight ahead on the Arkansas River. Oh goodness. And I talked to another fella up in Maryland. I'll probably save that for another discussion, because he kind of had an interesting dilemma worth talking about. But for now, you know, I've got this load of copper I picked up in Lone Oak, Arkansas. I got to deliver it Monday morning in Granite City, Illinois. So I'll plan on leaving out Sunday afternoon. Try to get probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours up the road. There's a Love's up there in Herculaneum that I like to stop at. So that's the plan anyway. I'll try to do a review from home. Okay, everybody. Hey, let's do a quick recap of the most recent pay settlement. Now, this is the week where I picked up a load of silica brick over in Mulga, Alabama, came home, that was my home load, left out Sunday afternoon, and delivered Monday morning in Tyler, Texas. Then from there, I came all the way back to North Little Rock and got a load of fertilizer from the Oakley, North Little Rock yard that went to Flippin, Arkansas. From there, I went to Annapolis, Missouri, and got a load of roofing granules that went to Ennis, Texas. From there, back to Little Rock, got a load of tire shred that went up to Armorel, Arkansas, or Blytheville. Then from there, I went to Memphis, Tennessee, got a load of manganese ore that I brought back to North Little Rock. That was my home load. And then delivered it Monday morning in Fort Smith, Arkansas, to the Gerdau mill. Okay, so that gave me a total of 2,153 miles. That's 898 empty miles and 1,255 loaded miles. And that generated a gross income of $4,980. And then after you take out, you know, at Oakley, I've gone over this before in previous breakdowns, but you know, that's my gross from driving. And then they take out fuel purchases and let's see, let's just go through it real quick. Physical damage insurance, base plate fees, mobile communication, rental, occupational accident insurance, non-trucking liability, pre-pass device, all of that. Oh, and my ATBS fee, which is an accounting tax service. All that comes up to about $200 roughly. So all that's deducted out of that gross number, fuel and all that other stuff. And that gives me a net for the week of $3,880. $3,880. So what's left out of that is I got to save for maintenance and repairs and pay taxes. All right, so that's how that works. So, you know, that's kind of an average week, a little above last year's average, but I expect this year to be a better income year for me and a better weekly average, because last year, you know, and I covered this. If you've missed it, go back a few weeks and I did a 2023 review, but I averaged $3,500 per week net. But that was me being down for 5 weeks getting an engine replacement, and then another probably couple of weeks worth of time just being off for other things. So I definitely expect to do better this year. So $3,880 80 as my weekly net is, you know, that's pretty normal. 2,153 miles is nothing spectacular. Just kind of an average week. So there's that. I know a lot of you guys are interested in the money. What can you make? So that's what I'm giving you. Okay, a couple other quick things. I had somebody ask me recently, obviously kind of new to the channel, why am I called Paperboy? All right, so real briefly, I go by Paperboy Trucker because for most of my working life, you know, about 33 years, I worked in the newspaper industry on the circulation side, you know, distribution, customer service, sales, collections, that sort of thing. So that's what I did. But as you know, the newspaper business kind of has gone bye-bye. And I finally got to a point where I, rather than wait around to get laid off, I started looking for something else to do, and ended up, oh, sorry, that camera's kind of wobbly there. I got my CDL on my own, and then I signed on with Maverick Transportation, a flatbed company, because they'll hire you with no experience. I did that for 3.5 years, but I'd always kind of had my eye on Oakley. And for you guys that are interested in Oakley and don't know this, you know, Oakley only utilizes owner-operators. So to come on with Oakley, lease on with Oakley, you gotta own your own truck, all right? And you gotta have at least 2 years of driving experience over the road. So once, you know, I got enough experience and got enough courage to buy my own truck, I went ahead and signed on with Oakley. And I've been with Oakley now for about 1 year and 3 months. So that's kind of a quick background for those of you that are kind of new. All right, so I'm kind of new to trucking and real new to being an owner operator and being with Oakley. 2023 was my first full year with Oakley. And if you missed it, you know, I did a numbers recap a few weeks ago. You know, you can go back and look at that if you're interested. But I just try to show what life is like as an Oakley driver. You know, I'm an end dump. They have different divisions. They have a hopper bottom division, end dump division, which is what I do, and a pneumatic tanker division. So I try to show you where I go, the type of loads, you know, just kind of share that with you so you can see the flow, what kind of trips. Share my numbers, my pay, my miles, so you got good information. You know, if you're looking for a place to go as an owner operator or trying to decide, you know, hopefully this information will help you. I know it did me when I was trying to make up my mind to get into trucking or to come to Oakley. The guys that put in some time to share that type of information was of a great assistance to me. So hopefully same for you. Okay, and I wanted to also mention Corey up in Maryland had emailed me a few times back and forth recently, and he's already an owner operator and actually has his own authority, and he was asking, you know, if he could come to Oakley and still use his own authority. And I wasn't sure about that. I didn't think that would be something that was doable, but I called the office and talked to Kent in recruiting, and he gave me some better information. He said they do occasionally contract with owner-operators using their own authority. You know, if they've got their own truck, their own trailer, and their own authority on an overflow basis. You know, from time to time when they've just got, you know, they have a need for more trucks, more loads. They do use people somewhat in that capacity, but on a normal basis, steadily, you can't use your own authority and lease on with Oakley. All right, you can lease on, but you'll be driving under Oakley's authority and using their trailer. Your truck, their trailer. So that clears that up, hopefully. Man, let's see what else. I guess that's it for now. The load I have now is I picked up yesterday in Lone Oak, Arkansas. It's a load of copper from the Remington plant nearby, and I'll deliver it to Granite City, Illinois on Monday. And next week's going to be a short week for me. I've told my dispatcher I want to get home by Thursday evening, because my wife and I we're gonna go down to the horse track in Hot Springs for a couple days, and we like to do that once a year. And so that's what, gonna be a short week. Gonna go have a little fun, lose a little money, probably. Yeah, we'll see you next week, starting out in Granite City.